Good morning, my people, my people. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora, which is my people. It has been another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American? My people, all in all, it has been another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to the activities that transpired while I protested. And as you know, when I have finished protesting, and when I have brought you an update as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to you something from the word of the Most High God. For the past 2 weeks, we have been dealing with Revelation chapter 13. We are going to pick up from where we left off. And the last thing we did was Revelation chapter 13 verse 10. So now we are going to pick up from verse 11. And this is what verse 11 has to say. And I beheld another beast came up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Verse 12, and he exercised all of the power of the first beast before him, and he caused the earth and them that dwells therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wounds were healed. If you pay attention to our study so far, in Revelation chapter 13 verse 1 and 2, it speaks of a beast that came out of the sea. And that beast had 7 heads and 10 horns and 10 crowns upon the horns. We come to understand that that beast represents a nation, and a nation is a group of people who has the same ancestry. We brought to your attention the Africans is one nation because they have the same father. The Asians is one nation because they have the same father. The Indians, they are all one nation because they have the same father. I also told you that the 7 heads represents 7 countries that once were world powers. And I named those 7 countries. And I also told you that the 10 horns with the crowns on the horns are also 7 countries that are insignificant. Revelation chapter 13 verse 11 is referring to one of those world powers as a nation. But we have to bear in mind that it is not a nation as the meaning of nation is, a group of people that has the same ancestry. But this is an offshoot of the nation that finds its own independence and were conducting its own business. So they are countries that constitute members of the Caucasian nation. In Bible prophecy, a beast that comes out of the sea is a new nation that is being formed. And a beast that comes out of the earth is an extension of an already existing nation. So in verse 11 we see this beast came out of the earth. So therefore it is an extension of a nation that has already been in existence. That means a group of people that has the same ancestry. So in order for us to categorize this country with a particular nation, we have to pay attention to the characteristics that are associated to the particular beast that now comes out of the earth. The only description of this nation that came out of the earth that was given is it has 2 horns like a lamb, but he speaks like the dragon. Let me break this down for you. The 2 horns like a lamb is very significant to identifying which country this beast is. In order for me to do this, let me bring you some facts about the animal kingdom. This nation had horns like a lamb. I will tell you this. There are 1,000 breeds of sheep in this world. And there is only 3 breeds of that 1,000 breed of sheep that has horn. That means there is over 8 billion people on this earth, and only about 500 million people have ever seen a sheep with horns. Therefore, there is over 7 billion, 500 million people on this earth who have never seen a sheep with horns. Therefore, for the majority of the world, sheep don't have horns. So it is very significant that this prophecy is telling you of a sheep that has horn. What does it mean? The 2 horns on the sheep represents 2 groups of the Israelites that will be found on this country. What do I mean? Throughout the course of the development of this country, there will be 2 groups of Israelites that are found here in this country. Power was given to the beasts to make war with the saints of God, to make war with the Israelites, and to overcome them. Now, what we have to do is look back through the histories of all of the countries that are associated with the Caucasian nation that came up later, that had 2 groups of Israelites that dwell in the country. And the only country that came up outside of Europe that has 2 groups of Israelites that dwells in that country, that were exploited and oppressed and overcome by the Caucasians, is the United States of America. The first group of Israelites that is found in this United States of America is the native people, those that are called the American Indians. They came here voluntarily. Now, how did the American Indians came here voluntarily from Israel? When Jeremiah, the Most High prophet, gave the prophecy that is recorded in Jeremiah chapter 25, and in Jeremiah chapter 25 verse 9 to 12 says that the Most High speak to Israel, and he told them, you are not being obedient to my word after all I have done for you, and because of your disobedience, I am going to send Babylon. I'm going to send Nebuchadnezzar, and Nebuchadnezzar is going to come and conquer you. He's going to take away all of the joy from Israel. He's going to leave Israel in a ruin. All of the Israelites will serve King Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon for 70 years. Read it for yourself. There were this group of faithful Israelites who dwell in Israel at the time that Jeremiah brought this prophecy, and they thought that it was unfair for them to be faithful to the Most High, and they will have to be caught up with the disobedient Israelites when Babylon come and conquer Israel. So what did they do? They pack up their stuff to the best of their ability. They make a record of the scriptures for themselves, and they left Israel, and they end up in this the United States of America. At this time in Earth's history, the land bridge that connected all of Earth was still in existence. So they were able to migrate and cross the land bridge before history and time caused that land bridge to be destroyed. And the second group of Israelites that were found in this place were brought here during the transatlantic slave trade. And if you go back through the history of the American Indians, the Native American people, you will see that the Caucasians waged war against them and overcame them. In the same way, they brought the Israelites. Here, they overcame them, they enslaved them, and today they are re-enslaving the Israelites. Again, let me bring another set of historical facts to you. The people in America that are running around calling themselves native people, they are not Native American, they are all Caucasians. They are what you call $5 Indians, greedy, dishonest men and women who, when the federal government decided to give the American reparation for the hardship and the slaughter that they put them through, those greedy white people registered themselves and their families as native people. They push out the native people. They say, you are not native, you are black with good hair. You are not native, you are this, and they refuse to register them. That is why every so often the federal government will give endorsement of federal dollars, billions of dollars, to the so-called native, to the $5 Indians, because they purchase the Indian identity for $5. They are called $5 Indians. So when you see these people in America here running about in headdress and beating drums and calling themselves native people, they are not natives, they are Caucasians who stole the identity of the native people, and now they are continually being reimbursed with monies for holding on to the native people's identity and to ensure that the real Israelites are not reparated for their suffering. That is the same reason why they will never give the children of slave reparation, because it is never in their intention to reparate or to compensate anyone for the suffering they put them through. Look at the African American here. They put drugs in the black community. They make the parents of those children who are now homeless in California, drug addicts, throw them in jail, and not one penny. But the Jews were able to claim reparation from an incident that happened since 1945, even up to 2008. Yet, the destruction of the black community that happened during the 80s, the descendants of those people will never see a penny, but they will put under more pressure until they break them and destroy them for their disobedience. The two lamb-like horns on this beast represents the saints of the Most High God that will exist here and will dwell here on this beast. And the second meaning, lamb-like horns on the beast that speak like the devil, is the deception with which America have deceived the entire world. Come to America, you will find the American dream, but the American dream is a fallacy. It doesn't exist. Everyone that lives here is living a nightmare. The Caucasians has the worst nightmare of all. It does not matter whatever they do, they can never be good enough to get into the kingdom of the Most High God. And the other nation that they deceived to come here, they were tricked into believing that this is the land of prosperity. But the Caucasians does not give you nothing for nothing. You want to be prosperous? Give me your soul. All of those people that comes here and say they are successful and they're making it, they are failures because of one thing the Most High God gave them to accomplish, which is to be restored to Him. They sold their ability to be restored to the Most High God for wealth, for money, for things. Now they are all slave. They are all living dead, walking around here. So the lamb-like horn and the devil speak of the double standard and the deception that this the America is offering. Come for a better life, but they will give you a life that is worse than anything you would have ever experienced if you stayed in your country. My name is Chief Stromblad. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the Diaspora Machismo, and will continue this on Wednesday.